All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to come back to 1 at the very end because, like I said yesterday, 1's kind of on the more difficult side. So let's stay focused, please, as we're going through this. This is our last kind of teaching of fraction busting, so I want to make sure that everyone's got the same opportunity to review this and kind of finish up their learning before we move into something different today. So, number 3, all my terms are fractions. I'm good on step 1. I've got a 4, 6, 12, and 3. What's my LCD going to be here? 12. 4 is a factor of 12, 6 is a factor of 12, 3 is a factor of 12. So, if I have a 4, what can I multiply 4 by to get 12? 3 over 3. If I have 6, what can I multiply 6 by to get 12? 2 over 2. That one's already a 12. And 3 I could multiply by 4 over 4. I'm going to cross out all my denominators. Boom, 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 boom. And I get 9x plus 2x equals negative 3x minus 28. I'm going to combine these like terms first to get 11x. Making sure that we actually have both those x's there. Again, the number one mistake people make with this is dropping this x when they see it because they assume that it's going to be a constant term next to that variable term. Not always. All right, what can we do next? We're going to add the 3x, thank you sir, plus 3x on both sides. What would 11 plus 3 give me? 14x equals negative 28. Divide both sides by 14. How many times does 14 go into 28? 2 times. And what's a negative over a positive? Negative. Give me a thumbs up if you got negative 2 there for number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huh. What questions can I answer then if only 9 of us were able to get that one right? There's obviously got to be some questions about what we did. So look through it, try and analyze it, compare it to yours. Try and see if you can understand where you made your mistake, and if something doesn't make sense, please, now's the time to let me know. So you said you're good with the fraction busting part, but then it's this part that you're a little uncomfortable with? Okay. So these are, let me see. I wonder, do we do steps like this? Good morning. Thank you. Okay, so we don't have like specific steps on this, but we are going to take some like recap notes at the end of this unit, where basically step 1 is going to be fraction bust if you can. Step 2 is distribute wherever you can. Step 3 is combine like terms. Step 4 is going to be inverse operations. So we're going to hammer this home in a couple days. But basically, once we fraction bust, right, we've got this right here. We see that there's nothing to distribute. There's no parentheses. So we go, all right, can I combine any like terms? And this is where the highlighting comes in handy. We see 2 yellow X terms on the same side. That tells us we've got to combine them up every single time, whether it's 2 yellow terms or two pink terms, like if we had it over here, which we don't. That's the first thing we need to do, is combine that up. Now we see that we've got still only one pink term. Now we've got two yellow terms, but they're on opposite sides of this line. When they're on opposite sides of the line, we have to do the opposite operation to bring it over. Right? We don't want the 3x over here. We do want it over there. The only way that we can strike these out is by doing the inverse operation, because negative 3x plus 3x equals 0. That's what leaves us just with the negative 28. Now we combine the 11x and the 3x to get 14x. I got one yellow on the left, one pink on the right. That tells us it's time to divide by the number in front of x. So we're going to really work on structuring out this process here pretty soon. But that's what we do after the fraction busting, is just take those previous lessons step by step. Does that make a little sense, or is that still kind of a lot? It makes sense if it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. Let's look at number 4 and see if we can kind of see what we're doing there. Number 4. How do I get these red fractions? Great question. Let's take a look at number 4 and figure that out. What's the very first thing I want to do here to my 2? Put a 1 under it. Good. Step 2 in our notes says to find the LCD. I've got 9, 18, 3, and 1. What's my LCD going to be? 18. Right? Because 9 goes into 18, 3 goes into 18, 1 goes into everything, including 18, and obviously 18 goes into 18. Are we good on finding the LCD? That makes sense, right? Okay. So now we use the LCD to kind of fill in the blanks, right? Anything that's not already an 18 is going to get multiplied by something over something. So I'm leaving this one out. It's already at 18. But 9 needs to get up to 18, 3 needs to get up to 18, and 1 needs to get up to 18. We have to use our critical thinking skills to just fill in the blank, right? So 9 times what would give me 18? 2. There's the first blank, 2 over 2. 3 times what gives me 18? 6 over 6. And 1 times what gives me 18? 18. Great job. Do we see how we got those whole fractions a little bit? Yeah? That's why we need to find the LCDs. So we know what we need to multiply each of those terms by. This is tricky stuff though, so don't beat yourself up if it's still a little bit confusing. I'm going to skip the shortcut and actually work it out all the way for this one, just so we can be consistent. 2 times 2 over 2 times 9 is 4 over 18. I've got 5 over 18x. 6 times 5 is 30 over 18x. And 2 times 18 is 36 over 18. So we completely multiply across. These are the fractions that we get. Okay, good. Now that we have all 18s, we can just cross them out. Everything's out of 18, we don't need to worry about it. It's kind of like when we take a test in this class, right? You guys all take the same test. All of your tests are out of 50, right? So if I'm telling you guys your scores, I don't need to keep saying you got a 36 out of 50. You got a 49 out of 50. I could just say you got a 49. You got a 36. We know that they're all out of 50. So we don't even need to worry about that. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. Good. So what do we have left? We've got a 4 plus a 5x equals a 30x minus 36. We've got the 5x, the 30x, a I'm going to highlight so we can see what we have. Negative 36 and 4. Everything but those 18s is what we write out. Again, with the shortcut, we eliminate this step here by just crossing out the denominators preemptively and just focusing on the top. But if that shortcut kind of throws you off or confuses you, just do it this way. It doesn't save you that much time. It's really not that crazy of a shortcut, right? And now we think back to our previous lessons. Is there any like terms we can combine on the same side here? No, we've got a yellow and a pink on the left, yellow and a pink on the right. If there's no like terms to combine, now we do our inverse operations. I want to bring my yellow term to the left, bring my pink term to the right. 30x is my yellow term on the right. If I want to bring that to the left, what can I do? Minus 30x, so we can cancel those, and minus 30x on the other side. 4 is still there. Negative 36 is still there. What's 5 minus 30x? Negative 25x. I brought my yellow term to the left. Let's bring that pink term to the right by doing what on both sides now? We're almost at dividing. Dividing is always going to be our last step. If we have a positive 4, we want to swap it over to the other side. We do the inverse operation of positive 4, which is what? Minus 4. I know that's confusing because we don't see a plus in front. But remember, we want to cancel these out. 4 minus 4 is 0, so we can cancel those. We're left with negative 25x equals negative 40. Here's how we know it's time to divide. When we have one yellow term and one pink term only. Nothing else, no doubles, one term on each side of the equal sign. Now it's time to divide. What are we going to divide both sides by? Negative 25. Because negative 25 divided by negative 25 is just 1. Like we saw up here, 2 over 2 is just 1. 6 over 6 is just 1. 18 over 18 is 1. Anything over itself is just 1. All right, we're left with x equals, I know 25 doesn't go into 40 perfectly, but we can split this up. What two numbers multiply to give me 40? 8 times 5, good. What about 25? 5 times 5. What can we cancel from the top and the bottom? Pair of 5s, and we're left with 8 over 5. Doesn't work. And also, just to note, a negative over a negative gives me a positive. Does that sound good on number 4? Okay. Down to number 5. We're going to go through number 5 kind of quick so we can get started on what we need to do today. I put my 2x over 1. My LCD is going to be what in number 5? 15. I'm going to multiply my first term by 3 over 3. My next term by 15 over 15. My third term by 5 over 5. Cancel, 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 cancel. I'm left with 3x plus 30x minus 25 equals 11. This one's a little different because I have 3 terms on the left. So be careful with that. I'm going to combine my like terms first to get 33x. I'm going to add my constant to the right to get 36. Now I've got one variable term on the left, one constant term on the right. Time to divide. This time by 33 to get x all by itself. Now let's split this one up. What 2 numbers multiply to give me 36? 6 times 6, okay, and 6 is 2 times 3. So we could probably write it like that, right? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 3 is 3. What 2 numbers multiply to give me 33? 11 times 3. Good. Is there anything we can cancel from the top and bottom? 3's go away. We're left with an 11 on the bottom. And what on the top? 2 times 3 times 2? 12. We get 12 over 11. So because number 1 is harder than what we're going to see on the test, we're not even going to worry about it. If you did it, great. Does someone have the answer just to throw it out there for number 1? X is equal to, what'd you get? 2 over 7? Just 2 over 7? Negative 2 over 7. Good. That's what you got on number 1. You should be in good shape because that's harder than what you're going to see on the test. LCD on number 1 was what? Oh, my bad. LCD, yes, was 42. Don't worry about number 1 too much. Yeah. Sure.